but let's go ahead and rock out some IPAs together. The first thing that I want to say, I meant to tell you guys, but to try to fit in some self-development before this Zoom, I think it's really important to start your day that way. I will tell you, whenever I go through my day, I've done it before where I didn't make time for self-development and then it waited till the end of the day. It's like I just like shot myself in the foot because I was in a bad mood. Like I wasn't in the right headspace to respond to people. And so always, always, always start your day out with that. I am reading Think and Grow Rich right now. So I finished chapter 1 of that this morning. And I will say it's a really good book so far. And what I love about it real quick is that it took him 20 years to come up with all of the content that's in that book. So the purpose behind self-development, I want you to think about it this way. Somebody that took 20 years of experience to learn about what makes over, I think it's like 500 men successful in different areas of industry, what makes them successful. He took 20 years of his life to have those conversations with them and learn about those success tips and put it into a book that maybe I can read in a month. So I can gain 20 years of wisdom in 1 month. So I want you to think about that when you think about self-development and how blessed we are that we can grow at a substantial rate if you just put focus into it. So always start your day with self-development. That's one thing I always do. I'm doing a little overview first and then we'll head over to Instagram. But the second thing is products on stories. And so it can be a boomerang, it can be a little time-lapse video with some music on it. Maybe you're making your shake. As some way, shape, form, or fashion, put your products on your stories in the morning when you're using your product. I heard, I forget her name, Twin. I think Twin said, she's like, if I'm using a product and I'm not putting it on my stories, I'm losing money. And I was like, oh, snap. Like, that's so true because somebody might not be interested in the 3 steps, but they may want to know more information on that rest product I use at night. So who am I to only talk about my 3 steps when I'm using rest or I'm using collagen or I'm using all these things when that might be something that they're interested in. So think of it that way too. Always get your products on your stories, face to face on your stories. I want you guys to try to start doing that every single day. I want you to get into a routine of doing that, of making that commitment to your audience that you're going to show up for them, that you're going to show up no matter what day your day looks like, no matter how busy you are, that you're going to show up and you're going to pour into them at some point in some fashion. My kids are about to go crazy right now. I don't want to hear the whining. Face to face on stories. Also share your life. It's kind of like what I said last night. Don't just do your 3 steps and then you disappear for the day and then tomorrow you show up and you do your 3 steps again. People are going to think that you're a robot. You want to show your face, you want to show your emotion, you want to show your 3 steps and what the products do for you. Maybe you want to talk about it that day. Maybe you want to talk more to the promoters that day, your potential promoters. Maybe you just want to speak life and some wisdom into somebody, something that you're learning in your self-development. I don't know what that looks like for you, but every single day, face to face on your stories and share your life. So for example, I've got my products on my stories already today. I've gone face to face. I've put intention into that, saying I am working closely with promoters who are ready to change their life. If we've talked about the business before, now is your time to message me. And I'm not afraid to be bold. I specifically said on there, like, this is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. I don't have time to work with everybody. I will only work with those who are committed. Don't be afraid to be bold. Don't be afraid to put those boundaries in, because what's going to happen if you open your business up to everybody? This is a side note. We didn't plan on getting on this topic, but if you open up your business to everybody, you're going to be wasting so much of your time for the kidnappers, as they say, the people that come in and they only buy their kits and then you never see them again. Okay. You've wasted your emotional energy. You've wasted your physical energy with pouring into them in their VIP period and they don't do anything. Okay, you want to make sure that you set that foundation, that you are very upfront and you say, listen, like, my time and my energy is my most important resource. I am here to use it wisely, but I'm also here to teach you if you are ready, right? So don't be afraid to exclude some people. It's kind of like finding your niche. Like, it's kind of like finding the people that you're talking to, because Kelly's niche is a little different from Karen's niche, is a little different from Jennifer's niche, from my niche. right? We're all talking to different audiences, but you can't be afraid to narrow down who you're talking to and exclude some other people. Okay? Meaning, I'm not going to relate to the stay-at-home mom necessarily, but I share my story about wanting to come home from work, about wanting to break the chains of the time clock. That's my niche right now. My niche might change later, but it's also the mama who puts emphasis on her health and she wants to be healthy. So she sees my workouts, she sees my work ethic behind my stories, right? I'm also excluding people for now. I'm talking to a specific person so that whenever I find her and she's watching my story, she's like, girl, you're speaking to me. Okay. So don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to pinpoint who exactly you want to work with and let the other people sit on the sidelines for a little while until they're ready. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to Instagram. And so what I like to start with is engagement. So when you go over to Instagram, first of all, is everybody using Instagram? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay. So if you're not, we need to do a one-on-one Zoom. Okay. If you're not using Instagram, but go over to Instagram, click you'll see the top 3 numbers at the top. I want you to click the people that you are following. And then I want you to click this up and down arrow here, and we're going to sort by latest. Sort by latest. These are the people that recently started following you, or you started following them rather. And I want you, what you can do is we can go through and you can look at their page. You can look to see when's the last time that they posted. I'm just going to set a little timer for us. We're going to do like little blitzes. We're going to do like let's do 4 minutes. 4 sounds good. So we're going to spend some time engaging with people who are new to our feed. And so what you can do, go ahead and start, but you can see if they have an active circle around their profile picture and you might want to engage on their stories. You can do 3-2-1. If you've ever heard of a 3-2-1, what that means is you click on their profile, you like 3 of their pictures, you comment on 2 of them, and then you respond to something of some sort in their stories. So you're sparking up that conversation with them and they see you on their news feed, showing them some love. Go play. I pay attention to when's the last time they posted. If they didn't post, if they haven't posted since 2020, I'm not following them anymore. They're not active on social media. Okay. And so I'm not trying to be blunt, but it's a waste of time. So take a few minutes here and we'll go engage with these people. And remember, this is not like drive-by emojis. If you see something that you genuinely can respond to, that you can relate to, say something, spark up that conversation. The greatest way is to ask questions. Sadie. This dog. You'll also see whenever you get on here and you're engaging with people, maybe you'll see somebody who you're just like, oh my God, all they post is fashion and you are not like a fashionista. Just unfollow them. Also remember that as we're going through this, all your IPAs don't have to be done in one setting. So at the end here, I'll kind of break up how I break up my day. I'll fix your TV in a minute. You can also get little ideas of the way that people, maybe they lay out their products or music that they're using, or they're sharing their workout or whatever. You can get ideas from people too. Stop, Kaylin. Put the remote down. And then if somebody has like 1,000 little clips on their stories and I've interacted with like 1 or 2 of them, I move on. I don't keep watching them unless it's something I'm really, really interested in. I move on so that I can engage with the next person. No, Kaylin. All right, that's our timer for 4 minutes. So that's engagement on Instagram on your new people. Another way to do engagement on Instagram is if, I'll just show you, I'll just tell you the breakdown. So what I do every single morning, I have my IPA list in my phone. This is where I like to keep mine so that I can check it off. And so you can see that I've already accomplished some of the things this morning. I've already done 5 minutes of engagement on Instagram and Facebook before we hopped on here. I've got my products on my stories, face-to-face on my stories, self-development, gratitude, IMs. That's all been done already this morning. And so I will start knocking off things. I start my morning every single morning with gratitude and I am affirmations. Sometimes it's writing them down. Sometimes it's just closing my eyes and having that moment where I speak them out loud. Self-development in some form or fashion. You're gonna do a podcast. Maybe you're reading a book right now, something that you can grow yourself. Products on stories, that's a no-brainer. Face-to-face on stories, start working into that. And then I work into engagement. And especially if I'm working that day, absolute must. I don't care if I have to be at work at 5:30 in the morning. I am waking up early so that I can at least get a little teeny tiny round of engagement done, because I've learned the hard way that that's the place that I lack. That's the place that I kind of like let slide sometimes. And I'm like, crap, like I didn't talk to anybody today, right? My goal was to make a friend. My goal was to make a connection with somebody. And here I am, let my whole day of work go by, right? When I could have not hit snooze, or I could have woke up a little bit earlier and done engagement. So maybe it's 5 minutes for you. Maybe it's 3 minutes for you. Maybe it's 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever that looks like for you. Start at what makes sense. When you look at my IPAs and you see that Amber's doing 10 minutes in the morning on Instagram and then she's doing another 10 minutes on Facebook, you don't have to be me. I have grown up to that 10 minutes. It started at 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. And then it was 7 minutes, and then it was 8 minutes, random numbers. And then it's 10 minutes. And I realized that I can accomplish so much more in those 10 minutes than if I just sat there and didn't put a timer on. Same thing if you're going to go clean your house, put on a timer for 20 minutes and see how much you get your kitchen clean. It's like a little game. It's like Mario Kart. Did you grow up on Mario Kart? Anyways, then Facebook, I don't like the way that they changed their birthdays don't launch until like 8 a.m. anymore. I used to do those at like 5 a.m., but they launch at 8 a.m. So we'll go over there and do that. But I break it up. I'll do engagement in the morning. I'll do engagement at lunch. I have a 30-minute lunch break. So at minimum, I can work in 5 minutes on each platform, right? And I like to do stories then, because it's really easy for me to do stories versus it is for me to do a 3-2-1 on somebody. That takes a lot of like bandwidth. Okay. And so I do that in the morning. In the afternoon, I'll do stories. And then in the evening, I'll love on my people. And what that means is I go back to my personal stories and I'll click on there and I'll look at all the people who have viewed my story, and I will click on them. Sorry, I don't do it to you guys, but I'll do it for people who are not thrivers. And I'll go, especially if they have a red ring around their their profile picture, I'll go through and I'll engage on their stories a little bit so that they know I see them. Does that make sense? You know how I say like you have to be a friend to have a friend? That's where this comes into play for me. And I personally just like doing this at night because I like to see who's been watching me that day. So morning is 3-2-1s with my new people. Afternoon for me, lunch break is stories, real quick. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then in the evening, it's loving on my people. Break it up, do what makes sense for you. And then throughout the day, I'm adding to my network. Not every single day. What I mean by don't do all your IPAs at once is not every day am I removing from my network. What else am I not doing every single day? I'm not doing like the behind the scenes, like changing my profile picture or my highlights or my presets or anything like that. Those are not things that I'm doing every single day. I add to my network every day. I face to face on my stories, products on my stories, self-development, and I engage. So I will go through removing from your network, but it's not something that I want you to overwhelm yourself with every single day. I pick one day a week and that's when I do that. Just pick one day a week. So Instagram, where were we? New followers. I showed you how to engage there. Stories. If you go to the top of your homepage, scroll all the way across to the back. Those are the people that you don't talk to very much, all the way across to the back. And that is a way to kind of push them forward in your algorithm so that they see your stuff more. And maybe you're seeing their stuff more and you're engaging with different people versus the same 5 people that you engaged with last week. Let's see, reels. I like to scroll through reels. Put a timer on for this, please, because it is like a never-ending hole that you will get sucked into. But I love going to the reels section, and that's where I actually add to my network the most, because I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's funny. Oh my gosh. I look for I'm just gonna be honest with you here. I look for people who don't have like 25,000 likes on their reel. I look for people who are more or less kind of have my kind of likes and comments on their reels, right? I look for somebody who is like somebody who is like me but not me. I say this a lot. Somebody who's funny, somebody who's maybe they're active, maybe they're inspirational. That's who I'm going to follow. And I don't always follow somebody who looks like me either. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. So reels are a good place where you can follow them real quick. So you can see, you can like it. You can hit that follow button right there real quick, and then you instantly have added somebody to your network. You can comment right there, and you can save the audio. So if you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to recreate this reel, you can save the audio, which I used to do, but then I would get back to my audio section. I'd be like, wait, what was the idea that I had for that audio? I don't even remember. So what I've started doing is I've started clicking the 3 dots underneath the airplane, the paper airplane. You see the 3 dots there? You can click the 3 dots and you can click save, and you can save the reel. And if you save the reel, where that goes is you go back to your profile and you click your little hamburger lines at the top right-hand corner. If you click those and then you click saved, you're going to see, basically it looks kind of like a Pinterest board, but you're going to see all of the reels that you've saved, and you can go through and you can be like, oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to do that reel, and I'm going to look at it. Like this is the one yesterday that I did with the tomatoes are fruit, right? The S or the C. Right? And so what I did was like, oh, that's right. I wanted to create that reel. I wanted to be like funny on my Monday. So I went through there and I saved the audio. When I was ready to make the reel, I saved the audio and I went over to my stories and created the reel. Does that make sense, you guys? If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. What else do I want to show you? Removing from your network on Instagram. My place that I like to remove from my network is if you click your following, the people that are following you, and you click this, people who you've not interacted with Recently, it always shows you 49 of them. But I go through, and if I used to actually engage with these people, and I used to try to do 3-2-1s on them. And then I realized like a lot of these people, if you click their following, they're not following you back. These are the people that likely are not following you back. These are the people that likely have not been on Instagram in a hot minute. These are the people who maybe have like 3 posts, right? And they're not very active. And so this is where I will kind of go through and I will just unfollow, especially if they like, can you see this, for example, this Dolce, whatever, another, like, it's not even a profile picture. Why am I following that person? So I will just go through and I will start to unfollow and make room for new people. I don't think about it too much. But that's what I've noticed with this little section of the people that you least interact with. I just try to get rid of some of them I do it Friday. I do it on Friday. You do it whenever you want. That's how I remove from Instagram. So let's move over to Facebook. I'm going to set a timer and we are going to, let's do birthdays first. If you go to your little bell, your notifications, you should see where it pops up that you have birthdays. It's the pink birthday cake. And it says so-and-so and X amount of other people have birthdays today. So I click that and it pops up like this. You can either write on their timeline or you can direct message them. I direct message them. I don't write on their timeline because 93 other people are writing on their timeline and it's just not as personal, I don't think. Opens up a conversation with them if I bring it into Messenger. So that's what I do. I click the little blue Messenger button. And what you're going to see, if you've ever spoken to this person before and you have not deleted the chat that you guys have spoken before, you're going to see where you guys have actually held a conversation before. So for this girl, I've never talked to her before. And that's okay. So what I'll do, this is the only time I copy and paste anything in my business. And I say, happy birthday. Make sure you are spelling their name wrong or right. Make sure you're spelling their name right. Double check it, triple check it. I say happy birthday, I put their name in, and then I say hope, since it's morning, hope you have an awesome day. Whoops. And then I will leave it with a question and I'll say any plans to celebrate. I'll copy it, the whole message. I'll send it. I'll click the Facebook back button and it brings me back to this little section here. And then I'll go to the next girl. I'll paste. Double click her name and it's going to highlight her name blue, the Christy that I just did. And now I'm going to type in Angie. Again, double check that autocorrect did not turn it into something else, Angel or whatever. So this is Angie. Same thing for her. Any plans to celebrate? If I come across somebody who I talk to a lot, who I engage with a lot, and we have formed that connection, my message is totally different. My message is like, oh my God, it's your birthday or something like that, right? I still ask them a question. What are you doing today? Do you have any plans? Anything like that? But my message is a little bit different. If they have a Southern name, this is just me growing up in the South, but if they have like a Bobby Joe, please put Bobby Joe and not just Bobby. Just throwing that out there. They won't respond to you because they'll think that you're just ignorant. So that makes sense. Okay. All right. Are you guys still working on birthdays? Good. Move forward. Okay. So now I go back to my IPA list, right? I can go back to my IPA list and where it says birthdays on Facebook, boop, check mark, I feel accomplished, right? This is going to help you be proud of what you're doing in your business and see that you are actually accomplishing things. And so, hold on, I gotta let Sean in. Keep track of what you're doing. Hang on, time out. Taylor, quit yelling. Okay, sorry about that. I told you it was gonna be crazy. So over on Facebook, new friends. So if you go to your Facebook and you click the hamburger at the bottom right-hand corner, the little three little lines, you're gonna come to this section. And this section is where you can see your memories, you can see your growth from last year, right? This is where you can click on friends and it's gonna bring you here. It's gonna show you the people who have requested to be your friend. So please look at those people, please look at those profiles. Side note, please make sure that they're real people. Make sure that they're somebody that you vibe with. And if you go to all friends, that bubble at the top that says all friends, you can search, you can sort, just like Instagram. At the top here, you can sort by newest friends first. Okay. And so it's a little bit more complicated. It's not so straightforward as Instagram, but you would click on their name. You would go through their profile, see what they posted yesterday. Again, if they haven't been on here since 2020, maybe they shouldn't be on here. So let's spend 4 minutes. I'm going to set the timer again, 4 minutes, and we're going to engage with our new friends on Facebook.
Yeah, right. You have 290. You got another 10 laying around somewhere. Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's probably just one bank account. Jeez.
If they have an active story, I also look at that.
Good news, buddy. Happy for you, man. All right, well, I'm home with the kiddos. Let me go have some fun. All right, love you. Bye. Hey, turds. Hi. 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 How are you guys today?
Turds.
Why are we playing in the bathroom?
Should have muted myself. It's okay. Uh-oh, something's not acceptable.
I didn't do any of it.
Don't overthink it. Don't get stuck in the, oh my gosh, I've only liked 2 things. I have to like 3 things. If there's something that you have questions on that I'm not covering, let me know. There is definitely power in setting a timer and then putting your phone down. All right, there's your timer for 4 minutes. So that's engagement on Instagram, engagement on your new people on Facebook. I also engage, remember how I said I do stories at my lunch break because that's the quickest one for me. So on Facebook, what that looks like is I go to Messenger and it brings you up to your chats. It automatically defaults to that. Hang on, say it. If you click over the bottom, you click over to where it says people, you're going to see stories. And so this is where I just like to engage on stories on Facebook. You can also, it's the same thing as going to your Facebook profile and going through the stories like this. It's essentially the same thing. I just like doing it from Messenger. But that's how I do it at lunch. I set timers at lunch too. And then I set timers in the evening when I'm looking at who's viewed my stories, who's liked or commented on my posts. So always set a timer. Remember, like I said, make it work for you. Maybe 3 minutes works for you. Maybe 4 minutes works for you. Maybe it's 8 minutes. It doesn't matter the time. What matters is that you're setting those little disciplines up for your day so that you can feel accomplished at the end of the day and you're proud of the work that you put in. Let's see, what else do I want to cover for Facebook? Removing from your network for Facebook. The only place I really do that is in Messenger, in my chats. I give them a good 2 weeks, but every single Friday, I like to go through and delete people. The way I do this is if I have said happy birthday to them, because I'm doing this every single day, and they never responded to me, that tells me 2 things. That tells me either they're not active on Facebook or they don't want to talk to me. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. I'm removing them if they don't have the decency to talk to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be blunt, but if they don't want to talk to me, they sure don't want to build a business with me. And so I remove them. And so what I'll do, it's a little bit more complicated, but you go to their profile and then you click the friends button and then you unfriend them. Another way to do this, if you have a laptop, you can log into your Facebook account there and you can go through your friends, same place where we were to look at the people who recently friended you. You go through all your friends here and you can sort through the oldest friends first. So these are like your very first Facebook friends from like 10 years ago. Okay. And you can see like, are they still relevant in my life? I'm not trying to be mean, you guys, but are they still relevant in my life? Do I still talk to them? Do they still add value to my life? Do I still need them? Are they friends from high school that I never talk to anymore? Why do they need to be there? Right. You can also go through and you can see, for example, who doesn't have a profile picture. That's one of my red flags. You can see people, again, I'm not trying to be mean, but you can see people who have like Snapchat as their profile picture. I'm not here to work with people who are like have kitty cat ears as a no, I'm not. You're gone, right? So that's what I look for. I also look for, let me see if I can find one. Here's one. Oh, well, I can't use that because I'll use it as an example, but I'm not getting rid of it because it's my father-in-law, but he has no profile picture at all. Okay. I'm not going to get rid of that one, but normally if anybody doesn't have a profile picture, no. Okay. That's how I remove from my network 1 day a week on your IPA list. Do not overwhelm yourself with trying to do all the things every day. The last thing was happy birthdays that I wanted to go over. So that we did. Any questions from the work with me? Any questions? Anything you're confused on? Make your IPA list, set out a schedule for yourself, set out that discipline, those daily habits. It will get easier. And before you know it, that 4 minutes that you're setting aside for engagement will turn into 5 minutes, will turn into 10 minutes. And you'll realize that you got way more accomplished by setting timers and then putting the phone down. Okay. I love you guys.